At the latest now in the Trump transition, President-elect announced his campaign manager, Susie Wiles, will become his chief of staff. He also pledged to crack down on illegal immigration immediately. Rachel Scott is in West Palm Beach. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. Donald Trump making his first major decision as president-elect, selecting Susie Wiles to become his chief of staff. She's a longtime Republican advisor that has been quietly working on his campaign for 4 years, but it's hard to find anyone who was more critical to the success of his third bid for the White House than Susie Wiles. This morning, Donald Trump is hitting the ground running for his second term, officially announcing Susie Wiles, his campaign co-chair, as his White House chief of staff.
Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The ice baby, we call her the ice baby.
Wiles will be the first female White House chief of staff in U.S. history. Trump praising her as tough, smart, innovative, and universally admired and respected. Wiles, the daughter of NFL player and sportscaster Pat Summerall, has been a powerful GOP advisor for years, credited with helping getting Florida Republicans like Senator Rick Scott and Governor Ron DeSantis elected in 2018. DeSantis fired her, and she would later go on to lead Trump's campaign to defeat him in the primary. Wiles is known for running a tight ship, staying out of the spotlight, striking a balance of letting Trump be Trump, but steering the campaign back to focus on the issues: economy, inflation, and immigration. Trump's team already moving quickly to execute his day one priority, a crackdown on illegal immigration, focusing on how to immediately launch Trump's key campaign pledge: mass deportations of the estimated 12 million undocumented immigrants. According to some experts, mass deportations could cost an estimated $88 billion a year and send inflation spiking as millions of workers are removed from the workforce. But Trump dismissing any cost concerns, saying there's no choice, adding in an interview, "They're not staying here. There is no price tag." At the White House, President Biden pledging a smooth transition.
On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America.
After Democrats crushing defeat across the country, Biden urging supporters to accept the results and move forward.
We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win.
The White House insisting the president does not regret his decision to step aside or that he did it so late in the campaign. The president offering only praise for his vice president.
She gave her whole heart and effort, and she and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran.
And of course, President-elect Donald Trump expected to travel to Washington to meet with President Biden at the White House in the coming days. As President-elect Donald Trump, of course, also entitled to receive classified intelligence briefings. And this morning, we are told that as part of this agreement to accept this role as chief of staff, Susie Wiles wanted to make certain that she could still play the role of gatekeeper, keeping some oversight over who has control or who is going into the Oval Office, trying to avoid some of the chaos that we saw in the first administration, George.
And Rachel, we're seeing a group of Democratic governors mobilize. They're saying they're trying to Trump-proof their states.
Yeah, Donald Trump has not been sworn in yet into office, but already you have a handful of Democratic governors that are really trying to brace for any potential policies of a Trump administration. So California Governor Gavin Newsom, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker saying they are ready to call lawmakers back into a special session, trying to safeguard any type of curtail against reproductive rights, gun reform, and also any environmental regulations, George.
Okay, Rachel, thanks.